no TVs. You ain't got no Rick and Morty, none of that shit, man. How?
None of that. I'd rather be out fucking. Listen, if there's no TV, there's no social media. You know what I'm saying? So you just out there bagging all the bitches, and you don't gotta freaking go on IG and be like, hey, da 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 da.
I was trying to see that car though that you had, and why everybody liked that car, because everybody used to talk about your car. It was something in your car, bruh, and I could not picture that car for nothing. I can see you even getting out the car, but I
had a Night Rider, kids. I had the Night Rider.
I don't know what the fuck that shit was, bruh.
Yeah, I had the kid. I had the Night Rider.
That's legit.
But that is trippy, man. That is trippy.
Yo, we got other realities that exist, that are coexisting, man. That is like we could be there and here, and maybe we just transition every time. Yo, when I seen that movie, the Discovery, when they found out that when you die, you just wake up in another reality.
Yeah, this movie
so they just killing themselves or something.
Yeah, so they start killing themselves. But the crazy thing is that when you wake up in the other reality, like at the end of the movie, the girl, when she woke up in the other reality, she had just killed herself. Some crazy shit had happened to her. And when she woke up, she was in the back seat of a car, dazing off as they were driving and shit. She dazed off, and then she like was waking up at that moment, like, oh shit, I just dazed off. A weird ass dream. They were like, well, you all right? She was like, oh no, it was just a weird dream. About dying, the whole existence that we have now, just a dream.
Just another dream. Hey, I just came out of that dream reality right now, to where this shit was like a dream. Like when I was on here, when I was on with them, it was like this shit was a dream. Like, damn, I was living the dream like right now. What happened, bro? That shit is mind blowing. And then you know what's funny though? You know what's funny? My boy sent me a picture of a big ass jar of them motherfuckers. He was like, man, I'm gonna bring you some tomorrow. I was like, oh, I'm about to go crazy.
Psychosis tomorrow.
You feel me? I said, yeah, I'm about to be diving.
Hey, you got
diving in tomorrow?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my bad, bro.
You gotta see that show Undone. You gotta see that shit true. Undone. Dude, listen, I seen the OA and I put people on to that shit, started talking about the OA. Everybody seen it, was like, whoa, mind blowing. Like when they go to the real people who fuck with DMT and shrooms anyways, that shit was mind blowing. Now, the new show is Undone. Oh my god, dog, there's so much fucking synchronicities in that shit. Mind blowing, dog. It's only the first season. And it's
where is it on? Netflix or
no? It's on Amazon Prime. But I watch
Amazon Prime.
So I watch shit on the Fire Stick. So it's on the Fire Stick. So you know what I'm saying?
So
what's the name of it? One more time. My bad, yo.
Undone.
Undone. Let me fucking Undone.
Oh my god, bro, fam. It's about time travel, about the brain, about this other shit, dog. There's one clip in there that had me hooked on the fucking first episode. I was like, oh shit. And then I watched the second one and I was like, get the fuck out of here, dog. It was like I already knew from the second episode that this is some shit that's gonna tie in to all.
It looks like a cartoon?
Yeah.
Okay.
It ties into all these goddamn trip reports and all this fucking shit. Dude, the dude talks about the girl has an issue with her brain. He pulls up a fucking image, a shaman, his brain scan, what they look like, their brain, and fucking saying that certain people, like schizophrenic people, have the same capacity of a fucking shaman brain, that they're in the shamanic state, that they're stuck in there. Like some crazy shit like that.
They just don't know how to react to that shit.
Bro, it's...
Yo.
And then you can fucking manipulate time.
I'm gonna watch that shit.
Yeah.
Yo, you wanna know? You know when I came out, when I did fucking DMT with Chris, you wanna know what's crazy?
What?
Everybody keep talking about, it's like, yo, alright, come back, you get like whatever. Mind you, this is my first time ever doing DMT. I didn't get nothing spiritual. Like, yeah, I did get something spiritual or whatever, but
coming back into this reality, it was like, no, go pay your bills, go be stressed, go, like, basically come back, stick to the script, go try to go, like, do all the things. Like, it was like I was forced to come back and do everything that's basically on my mind that I'm trying to do right now. Is like forcing me to come back and come do this shit, like go stick to the script and shit. You know, like, yeah.
How many times did you go in?
I went in 2 times.
Yeah.
I went in 2 times.
Or both times had the same
Yeah. No, it wasn't the same overall. So the first time it was like, all right, I took it, and then Chris, he took the dogs, went away with the dogs. My boy, he was holding the no, I had the thing. I had the torch and the thing to hit it. And then as soon as I hit it, my boy, he took it from me. This nigga was standing right next to me. This nigga like broke into fractals, like rectangular glass. Like imagine if you had a piece of glass and instead of it breaking in chaos, shattering everywhere, instead it broke into perfect rectangles, but it's still like a shatter. I can't even explain it. A shatter in all rectangles and shit, and then this nigga just disappeared. And I'm just there like, you know, in the shit, like, you know, basically what I'm assuming is the oneness and shit. Back in the God state, seeing everything forever what it is, you know what I'm saying? And then as soon as I come out of this shit, it's like, no, get me back to, you know, trying to do this, trying to pay bills, like all the things that I hate. It was like, no, I'm rushing back to come do, and I want to do things right now, and I had, like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like,
anxiety.
There was no anxiety. It was no anxiety. It was just like depression and remembering being in that state forever. So to me, it was like, yo, okay.
Yeah, that sounds kind of like fucking. Chris made that shit himself. Like his energy fucking was in that shit, man. Like damn, because he had a lot of stress, dog. A lot of things on his mind. A lot of fucking shit that he was. His frequency was, and he was the one who made that DMT, dog. That gave it to you, and for you to have that on your first trip is weird, dog.
That's weird, right?
Yeah, because
that's it. And then even the same thing, I'm like. Even the same thing I asked my home, I'm like, yo, Chris, why am I feeling depressed? You know? And I wasn't, he was like, I don't know.
Yo, you know why? Because listen, most people that take their DMT first trip is always like, if it's not electronic, it's like you know, the portal, the fucking the slingshot, like you felt like you went through that shit.
Nah, I ain't going through that shit. I was just like,
yeah, what you felt was like, whoa, like what? That's some real technical.
But you know what it is. But here's the crazy thing. Why I'm not even gonna jump back to that. I'm not even gonna say that because it's the same thing that I have, like the same state that I get into whenever I take mushrooms. Like the last time I took the 6 gram of mushrooms, I went into that same state, but instead I did it blacked out, and then. When I took 1.5 the other day, I slipped into that same state, you know, and I was able to pull myself back before I got in too deep, you know, and it was like that same, it was that same state.
You went in too deep on 0.5.
No, not on 0.5, on 1.5, but at that time, but you see, this is the thing. This is the thing about it. And I don't know where, I can't even say, but I remember I didn't eat nothing for the day. Right, and when I did take that 1.5, it felt as equivalent as the 6 grams did, but I had control over it. Not basically like overall me walking around, I'm on 6 grams. No, it wasn't nothing like that. It was like when I laid down and I went into that mind state, I could get, like, you know what I'm saying? I could get back to that same place, that same exact place. You know, nothing different about it, nothing off. It's not that same exact place that I'm talking about, and then I have to slip myself out of it because, like, no, that's not the place I want to be. And then it's the same thing with the DMT. I get the same feeling, you know. So I'm not even gonna say that wasn't even crazy. I would even say that was on him because it was the same situation.
Nah, I wouldn't say it was on him either. But I'm just saying, I feel like, though, like, damn, I wish, like, motherfuckers needed to spend more time with that dude. That's all he needed, dog. Like, all he needed was some motherfucker to be with him.
Yeah, man.
What's up? What you doing? Like, what you?
I even hit him up. Even after when I hit him up, like, I'm talking to him and like, he ain't finished. Like, you know what I'm saying? We talk and whatnot, and he wouldn't finish the conversation, you know. And I'm not the type of person to be like, yo, freaking, yo, da 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 da. a couple days later, I'll be like, yo, what's up? And you know what I'm saying? But I'm not the type of person to, you know what I'm saying? If somebody doesn't reply, I always assume that people got shit to do, you know?
Yeah.
So if you don't reply to me, it's like, okay, something and something, you know? But like I said, I never took him as the type of person to even do that, because he was just telling me about so much that he even wanted to do on the property, and what he wanted to do with the ayahuasca and get rid of the puking, because the puking is like all the toxins from the things that people use to make the ayahuasca, and then, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just a whole bunch of stuff. So it was like, I didn't see it. Like, yeah, he was depressed, but at the same time, like, you know what I'm saying? It didn't seem like, nah, he was gonna take a way out.
That's why. You know? That's why Pharmawaska. That's what they already. That's the corner right there that they cut from.
And I don't think, like, the reason you puke, I feel like that's you purging negative energies and all kinds of shit.
No, that's what they.
Yeah, because
that's what they attached to it to that. But what I'm saying is the Pharmawaska is the DMT with the other shit. Instead of using making boiling all that soup and drinking that shit, that syrup, you just make the Pharmawaska with DMT and the MAOI, and that's the same.
Because even what my homeboy was saying, he was like, yo, like, even like the body still needs to be purged of like mad toxin that people still be taking on the whole of what, like.
And I was reading in the DMT Spirit Molecule book, like, literally 2 pages, like 30 pages apart, said the same thing. It was like, it was talking about how, like, some people, like, they could see how once you go there and see there's the other side, might want to commit suicide, because, like, they know that there's something else that, like, is beyond this current life. So, like, literally, I don't know if it was, like, a patient who was doing, like, some of the DMT work with Strassman, or who said it, but it was like, yeah, they're talking about how they could see how someone would want to commit suicide after experiencing the other side or whatever.
That's what that movie Ozo brought up was about. It was about people finding out it was evidence of the other side. If I'm thinking about the same movie, and everybody was killing themselves like it was a thing, and then
mass suicide. They had a fucking a thing like countdown, but a tally of suicides on that was worldwide of all the people. People was like dying, mass wipeout. People just like fuck it, and they just wake up somewhere else. Like, think, oh, okay, I'll try this one out. Oh, I'm rich over here. Oh no, I'm poor here. I'm out of here. Yo, shit like that. Yo, it was crazy.
Yo, who was the main character in there? I was trying to look it up.
The main character was, I think, Michael Doug. No, not Michael Doug. What's the other one? Dennis. What's that old bastard's name? That was. Yeah, it is Michael Douglas. The old bastard is Michael Douglas.
Gotcha.
I'm pretty sure it's him. I'm thinking, yeah, right? He was the main guy who invented. It's called the Discovery.
Discovery. You did say that earlier. All right.
That show, Undone. That shit Undone is ridiculous, bro. It's like if they fucking everything comes out at a time when we're like, yo, dude, like, this is all new to us. You know, like there's a lot of people who've been tripping since back in the day, of course, and taking psychedelics and fucking with acid and whatever. And but mushrooms and shit like that is still in its infancy, and diving into it for certain reasons, and in the dark and fucking by yourself and fucking trying to like close your eyes the whole time. Like, people have never really done that back in the day with shrooms and shit like that. People have always been like party, drugs, and fucking around, looking at the trees, moving. And yeah, they have communicated with things, but I feel like right now, or maybe it's because we got more media and it's more like people are blogging and fucking vlogging and whatever the fuck it is, and showing their shit and recording it and YouTubing it. But this shit is the movies are matching this shit, dog, and the TV shows are fucking on this level, dog, that the computer graphics and the CGI that they use to make shit look a certain way, like in the movie.
Like wavy or like make 4-dimensional objects. I know what you're talking about. I'm looking at them right now.
Mm-hmm. Sure, you made me want to go watch that shit right now.
Does it feel like you're dreaming while watching
It's the shit
it?
to watch. It's the shit to watch. Because, what's it called? Just Undone. UNDONE. Yeah, Undone. Yep.
And it's a movie or what?
A TV show on Amazon. It's a series.
It's top shelf.
Yeah. It'll have you fucking in the rabbit hole all night long, watching it till the morning.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Watching episode after episode, back to back. Like, oh shit. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I need to eat like 4 seasons of this. Yeah.
Yeah, I like once shows like that have like a lot of seasons, I'm good, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God I ain't hear about that shit at season 1.
But this just tied in a whole bunch of shaman shit with schizophrenia, with time travel, with mind states and shit like that. This shit just connected all these dots, and it's like these things are coming out now, right on time with fucking the way we talking and the way shit is. Psychedelics are being promoted, and the way fucking they're being sanctioned from fucking state to state. So since that sanctioning, it's unleashing the movies, dog. The illest movies are gonna come out now. For us, people who fuck with psychedelics, the best movies that we've ever seen in our lives are gonna be coming out soon because the fucking psychedelics are being made legal. We're gonna be seeing some fucking freaky shit that is gonna be like, yo, this is psychedelic. Directly fucking dealing with the shit that we've all seen. We all
that is gonna be wild.
We all think it's a Truman Show too for us individuals. Like a Truman Show. We have a trip and it's like, yo, dude, I experienced this. I did. And then you fucking hear somebody saying your trip, like, holy shit, he's seen the same shit. So they're gonna make movies that is gonna be like, dude, this is the Truman Show for sure.
You ain't ready.
Yeah.
You ain't ready. You're gonna see a movie talking about your crib.
They gonna try to make whole college courses off of it. They're like, yo, we gotta make a course about this. Try to get this out there. We can be like, we already experienced this.
You're gonna try to, but this is something you can't, yo.
No.
Me and my homie were talking about, once they legalize shrooms nationwide, like, we gotta get on our shroom dispensary shit.
Oh, I think about that.
They don't allow felons to sell weed. It's legal to sell weed now, and my felon ass can't sell weed. So I know when they make shrooms legal, my felon ass can't sell shrooms.
Hey, it's a lot of avenues. We're gonna be covered. We're gonna be covered.
Yeah, so there's always a way around that.
I ain't letting none of this slide by. We in it, just like the people making the movies. They had they trip and was like, yo, I'm in Hollywood right now. What can I do with this?
Shit, man. Listen, Hollywood has been making movies that were psychedelically influenced from back in the day that it flew over people's minds. Now that we are psychedelics, we go back, watch these movies and like, oh, hell no.
Yo, bro, you want to hear a gem? It's a movie called Return to Oz. It's the Wizard of Oz 2, and it's made by Disney. But it seemed like they ain't put no money into it because they don't sing no songs the whole time. And they remade the characters, but it start off, I'm like, did they give it a low budget on purpose? Because it take place after Dorothy comes back from Oz, and they send her ass to a psychiatric ward because she keep talking about it.
Oh, yeah, I seen that shit.
And then she escapes from it and start floating in the river, and then she returns back to Oz, and then dreams back here, and then like the person that worked at the psychiatric ward was the wicked witch that was over there. It was wild when she got locked up and everything in that world and in this one.
Hey, you ever seen that movie Sucker Punch?
No, I never heard of it.
What?
No, I might type it in there.
Any other you fools never seen that movie?
No, sounds pretty
good. Oh my god,
it sounds
man.
pretty 70s.
It sounds like
What? Listen, Sucker Punch will blow your mind. It's about a bitch in a psychiatric ward. That shit got mad visuals, dog. Sucker Punch is an all-visual movie, dog. Epic visuals.
That's what's up.
Yeah, what?
When was it taking place?
Not too long ago.
Yeah, 2016.
Yep.
Oh, That shit sound like something from the 70s.
Nah, that sucker punch shit is official, dog. Straight psychedelic movies, like psychedelic movies.
420 lifestyle. I'm in Chico. My bad, I was talking to somebody in the chat.
Yep, with the girls. Yep. The girls be wiping shit down. That fucking movie is fucking... Yo, there's mad psychedelic movies that went under the radar, but once you fuck with psychedelics, it's like, holy shit, this shit makes sense. You could do whatever you want in your fucking dreams once you realize it's a dream. Like when Freddie, we knew that shit from Freddie. You know what I'm saying? Freddie taught us that way back. You know what I'm saying? When we were scared to death of Freddie.
Yo, Freddie ever ran you down in your dream before?
I remember having bad dreams from it, but I remember the most thing that fucked me up was when the bitch was bench pressing or the dude and turned into a cockroach in the roach motel. Like that shit fucked me up.
Freddie really came after me in my dreams as a kid one time. And I was running forever, my nigga. Like, I was on my block that I lived. And I was just running forever. And then I woke up off the shit. First, I seen snakes, a whole bunch of snakes in the street. Then I jumped out the streets. And then after I seen Freddie coming, and I was like, oh, shit. And I'm running, and like, we on the block. It's like niggas is on a treadmill, and nothing is moving. I'm like, nah, son.
Oh, I found it's called Sucker Punch.
Yeah, Sucker Punch, yeah.
I thought you said something else. I typed it.
Yeah, it looks whack.
Yeah, it looks whack, but it's ill.
I'm looking at the trailer now. I'm playing the trailer.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah, but that fucking that TV
She looks
show,
like a Harley Quinn type character.
Yeah, like Harley Quinn for sure. Yo, but that movie's gonna fuck you up. But that TV show, man, Undone, is really mind blowing, dog. Like the whole, I couldn't stop watching the episodes, dog. I had to save like 3 of them for the next day because I was like, nah, fuck that. I'm gonna want to watch at least 3 more of these.
Oh, so what are you doing awake? Is it like 3 a.m. where you're at?
Yeah, it's 2:30. Oh my god.
Yeah, Ozo usually knocked out the time, right?
Yeah, man. My girl's going through it though and shit, so I was up and shit, and I was smoking weed and shit, so I'm up.
Oh shit, now I feel you. What kind of bud you smoking on?
Right now, that just rolled up though.
Nice.
It's always fire.
And the key.
Yo, Ty.
Yeah.
The fifth thing is a mystery.
Somebody's mad low.
About McKenna? About what happens when you die?
No,
What he said?
He said something like you experience your parents and then your grandparents' lives, and then at the same time you're experiencing your children. Keeps going on, and
that's not what I experienced.
it kind of remind me of that trip to.
That's dope, man. That's a dope experience, man. See what I'm saying? Like, those are experiences, man. Like, Terrence had that experience, and I believe that's a possibility. It's all fractals. All this shit is real. All this shit can happen. It's all about us and our mindset and what we thinking about and what we grow up knowing and what we're exposed to and everything that happens to us throughout our life, the choices we make, everything, dog. It fucking boils down to fucking the way your neurons are connected to your fucking brain, the way you was born, the way your parents was fucking fucked up when they made you. All that shit boils down, dog. And fucking
so complex. So
yeah, man.
Is ever forgotten.
Because even the personality, you think about it, you're born under 12 signs, right? Now, after you're born with the 12 signs, you got one of those base personalities and shit, right? Now it depends on where you're growing up at, what region of the world, right? What type of environment you growed up in, what type of things you experience. Did this shit happen? Did that happen? Like, did your parents fuck with you as a child? Like, all these different things. All these different complex things, it adds up to, you know what I'm saying, who you are.
Not only that, listen, the planet that we're stepping on right now. Yes, future, past, present, everything, the bugs that are around us, the flies that you kill, everything, you better be able to put yourself in the perspective of the bugs you kill, the animals you slap, the people you fuck up, the shit that you do, the fucking, you gotta be able to see life from everything's perspective, every step you take. to be able to be fucking ascend.
And you were talking about earlier about like past lives and dreams and shit, and you were like, yeah, I wonder why this shit's all detailed and shit. I think it's because it's probably just information stored in your DNA, like liquid crystal style.
Like Assassin's Creed style, for sure.
Like Billy Carson was saying, like your DNA can store all this shit from past lives and emotions and all that.
Hell yeah, man. Because listen, I literally
like
keeping it on the ground, right? I literally was sitting with my eyeballs shut and my tear ducts and everything fucking emptied. I took a dose of some potent ass shrooms, dog, that it fucking literally, like acid, melted the fucking sinus cavity that I didn't even know existed behind my nostrils and behind my eyeballs. The cavity that's back there was like melted down. Fucking, I could feel it, and then when it emptied, I could feel the fucking snap, crackling, and popping of the.
Yeah.
Weird fucking experience, dog. And as that shit was happening, I sat on the toilet, dog, and I touched my face, and it was my mother's face.
Oh shit!
It was my mother's fucking face I was touching, dog. And I was like, oh shit! I was shocked, and I was like, my mother. I said it out loud, and when I heard my own voice, I was like, holy shit! My voice sounded mad weird. And I was like, my mother, what the fuck? Yo, it was a weird ass experience, dog. I was feeling the forehead and the nose, my nose and my face. I was like, yo, my mom, like, and then the tears was all over my face. I was like, is my mom somewhere crying right now? Like, what the fuck is this? So who knows, man? It's weird.
It's wild we can go into these experiences and they still like relate to things that's going on, like the never-ending story scenario. Like something that could be happening during the trip, and then it could actually like be a remote, what they would call here remote viewing experience, and it was actually happening, or it just in a whole nother way. I think that's what they always tried to say back then too. Out of reality, as above, so below, and all the realities like playing on top of each other and below each other.
Yo, fam, listen, these movies, these realities. Listen, you ever seen Nassim Harriman?
Yeah, Nassim Harrison. He the man.
64-star tetrahedron, Nassim, Jimmy Jenner, Unified Field.
That's the
Unified
guy.
Field Theory. All right, now listen. The unified field theory he speaks of, the way he breaks that shit down is literally coincides with so much shit, bro, about reality and the way we see shit.
Yeah, it's like quantum entanglement, string theory, fucking quantum physics, all that shit.
Yeah, bro, he the man. I was on to him before psychedelics. I was like, yo.
Yeah, for real.
Now listen. You seen his breakdown about when they talk about dimensions, the first dimension, the second dimension, the third dimension, which is the one we live in, and then the fourth dimension and the fifth and so on. Now, they say that the first dimension is one dot and it doesn't exist. The second dimension is two dots and that one doesn't exist either. Mm-hmm. And then they say the third dimension, which is our dimension, now that one does exist and it's made up of little dots of the other two dimensions that don't exist. So he was breaking down saying, like, how the fuck can you make reality out of non-reality? How can you make something out of something that doesn't? How can I have a bunch of pieces? How can I have no pieces of a Lamborghini and build a Lamborghini? You know what I'm saying? So, fucking, he's saying, and the way he broke it down is also coincides with this shit. Like if reality, the first dimension, the second. Right now, we live in the third dimension, and we are the gods of the second dimension.
And first.
The same way that the fourth dimensional beings would be over us, as in like they would be a step above us dimensionally, and they would be like spirits almost, and they would be able to come and go as they please and walk in and out of our dimension. If they could find a way into our dimension, they could find a way back to theirs because they're already more advanced than us, just because they're born in another fucking dimension of four.
David Gillian describes them as like higher dimensional beings of light. And like the way that they travel from their light planets or whatever is they literally like manifest spacecraft out of light and use those to travel.
Yo, listen, this is what sounds crazy. How would they have this information about a being and a society and all this shit if they can't even find the being or the society? But what I'm saying is this: if there are beings and there is a fourth dimension and there is higher beings in us, if that is what our spirit is when it comes out of us, or our astral form when we step out, if that's our fourth dimension, basically the second dimension is a real place and we're the gods of that shit. So when we make cartoons and we make things like fucking come to life, fucking
write a book.
Rick and Morty are real.
Yep.
Like fucking all these beings.
I was gonna bring that up, bro. You right on point.
Yo,
it is.
Because we're the fucking we're the third dimension. We're higher than the second.
Hey.
So the second is the two-plane dimension. Is the cartoons and all that flat shit is the second dimension.
Yo,
you know what I mean?
Grimes. I was talking about this 3 podcasts ago. Grimes on YouTube. Like, don't you know how True put out his statuses like before he go live and stuff? Grimes is a pop artist. She had put up a status saying this is what the gods are using to create now. It's a mix of Photoshop and something else. And I was like, yo, I know exactly what she talking about and exactly what you said. That this what we creating with these programs through the computers, we're creating new reality is right there. And I see that all the time. It's like the imagination has a place to now like exist, and it exists on that paper.
Go back, right, and look at the time when everybody in America, right, was taking psychedelics and the wave of hippies and all that shit. Look at the cartoons. Look at Gandahar and the fucking world that they fucking spun, and the fucking the Fantastic Planet and the fucking movies that were fucking those things were like. Those are epic motion pictures, dog. Like fucking, that's like Avatar, James Cameron shit, but in a cartoon, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how fucking deep and fucking rounded these cartoons are. So, like, Gandahar is about space-time continuum shit, going back in time, and the future being the past. Some fucking trippy shit, dog. And it's fucking...
That's what I'm saying. I feel like this is the future and the past. Like, I feel like you are your father, you are your grandfather, like, all this shit. It's like thousands of years ago, you were also there. You were back then, you know?
What up, True? What up, man? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. I was just hollering at my bruh.
Oh man, how's everything with the trip? What stage you in right now?
I'm in the cup. Yeah, I'm out the dream. Nigga, this shit was a dream in the end.
Yeah.
It's like I was dreaming. Like I was tripping because I'm looking at the plug, I'm looking at the monitor, and it was like a dream, bro. I was like, nah, here we go with this. Like, they've been hitting me with that at the end of my trips lately, to where I just be stuck in the dream. That shit is fucking weird. I don't like that shit.
You should read the Carlos Castaneda books, because they talk a lot about how through your dreams you enter like entirely new worlds, like you can gain power. I don't know. You should check out the books. I gotta read Carlos Castaneda.
Did you send that to me?
Yeah, I'll send them both to you, or all the books to you. But dude, yeah, you should have seen this dude hopped on yesterday with a super ill trip story. Fucking, he ate like some shrooms that he picked. The veil didn't break, and he said it destroyed him. It's like he was like moaning and like rolling around. He said that like. At one point, he was like, fuck this, fuck mushrooms, and he saw a visual of, like, a middle finger come out.
An emoji, like, fuck you, too.
He also said that he entered, like, he saw, like, these other worlds, and, like, one of them was, like, it was completely made of copper, and it was, like, a fucking, like, a metal realm, like a metal, I don't know, shit was crazy.
Like the same shit True was saying, the metal shit? What the fuck?
Maybe not. Maybe that was true, but he was talking about how he saw like this like cyborg like realm or some shit. It was like metallic.
Man, that's the one I seen. That shit was like a copper color, like the penny, like a fresh penny. Though that shit is crazy. But hey, myself from that place, man.
Huh?
I think I blocked myself from there. I did that some type of way because I was trying to tune in from being the mother that, which to me is still mind blowing because I'm trying to tune into that reality from another reality that's not this reality, from the reality.
all you need is a fucking animator, man. Like I was just talking about, we're the gods of the two dimension, man. We could take paper and draw some Rick and Morty shit, true life stories about our trips, and get a motherfucker to animate the trips as chaotic as Rick and Morty type shit. Mad shit happens.
Yo, that'd be low key genius. Then we can put it on YouTube and monetize it.
Oh my god, yo, because it'll be you don't have a budget for like, you know, a motion picture, like a movie. Like you could put all the fucking all the things that are happening in the trip and put them into the fucking frame.
Yeah, just how they're doing the Comedy Central cartoons and shit.
Yo, I've been experimenting with that since for 2 weeks.
Yeah, they're getting millions of views.
I downloaded a free trial of this thing called Toon Bloom, and you can I've been trying to do actually your trip, the T trip, the 10 gram. I've started off with that. I got like about a good 10-20 seconds. I'm trying to learn how to get the lip sync working.
Apparently Adobe Animate's pretty easy to use.
Adobe Animate? But how much is... I'll look it up. The price.
Oh, that's crazy, yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the lip sync, so I don't gotta keep matching it up.
That whole shit, you know how True be sometimes doing his shit, like, that shit, Undone is like that. But it's not cartoon, but it is kind of cartoon. Like, they just overlaid cartoon over the fucking reality or some shit.
Uh-huh.
But that just made me think about, I was watching some shit about PlayStation 5, but they were talking about the capabilities of PlayStation 5 are going to be out of this world, dog. And that fucking is going to be 3 times the console that's ever been put out before. You know what I'm saying?
It's not going to have many moving parts either. It's going to have a solid SSD drive, so it's going to like run real smooth, like efficiently.
Drive, and it's going to have a cartridge that you can pull out and put more. Like they made that shit crazy. You could dump mad. I think it's going to be like this too. You put in the disc that you have, it reads them, and then you don't got to put the disc in there again.
Wow. Yeah, they said it's going to run like old N64 cartridges and stuff. Like it's just gonna run off of it, no spinning disc and all of that.
Nothing. And you could plug all the PlayStation 4 games into it. It'll read them and load them, and then keep the game, and you don't have to ever put the game back in there again.
That's good. They finally got that backwards compatibility.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on Adobe Animate right now. It's 40% off for Cyber Monday.
How the hell you see 40% off?
You don't see that?
Fuck, you see that shit at?
It's still 11:45. Oh no, you still in Cali too.
I'm looking up Adobe Anime. Oh, okay, yes. Yeah,
you just gotta get an Adobe subscription. It's like $40 a month, but it's worth it because they got all the software that you can do all kinds of shit with. If you're into that digital shit.
Okay.
No, I should see, because my daughter's homeschool. They paying for an Adobe subscription for her. Yeah, I should see if this is part of it. Because we got some programs for her on there. They paid for it. I'm going to see if I put in her information.
I sent you the Carlos Castaneda book. You should fuck with it. I sent it to you on the Michael Jordan account. He's got multiple books, though. So, like, that's just the first volume.
Okay, yeah, this one, they got a student and teachers thing, too, at the bottom.
Yeah, exactly. So you could probably get your student hooked up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Damn, and that's all apps.
Yeah, you get every single one. You get Photoshop,
what's the email
After Effects, Animate.
What's the email?
And they just dropped some brand new apps, too. They literally just dropped some brand new shit called Arrow. And some other shit where it's like augmented reality app.
Okay, yeah, I'm about to. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. Dang, man, I gotta get this shit because we gotta. That's it. That's the next step.
I've been subscribed to Adobe for like a whole year, and I've been destroying the Photoshop game.
Alright,
that's the next step, bro. We on
it. Good looking.
Getting that shit animated, man.
Yeah, I'm on it. Cause that's what I enjoy doing.
Adobe Animate, it's like super user friendly. I heard.
Like I say, whatever I find myself
in front of the computer anyway.
I was like, whatever I find myself spending hours on and getting lost in, I said that's what I like to do. And when I just started just doing the things on the Toon Bloom, I was like, yo, this is awesome. Like it seemed fresh, like it seemed natural. Like this is what I'm a creator. Like This is what I'm supposed to be doing. It's this the first episode.
I'm like, fuck, I gotta get this Adobe Anime, bro, because I gotta start on that. Like I said, because I wanna make everything in the cartoon. I'm looking at this shit and I'm going, this would be a dope little.
I'm telling you, yeah. Then you could like upload it to YouTube, monetize it, and stack rack.
And stack rack.
Ozo's trips.
Yo, there's many true stories too that are fucking crazy.
Yeah, I'm looking into this. No, it's the first. When I watched the first episode of this old show called Tiny Toon Adventures by Steven Spielberg. Yo, the first episode, they're self-aware that they're cartoons, and Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck, they like, who are you people? And they like keep going to different realities, and you see the animator that was drawing them up, like he made a cartoon of himself drawing them, and then they was like talking to them, and he was like, they was talking back to him, and he was like, she was like, the cartoon was saying, I want a red shirt. Try me out with a red shirt. And he like scribbled it out and wrote a red shirt. He's like, wait, now let's do blue pants. And then in the end of the show,
cartoon, that whole genre, they're the only cartoon that I've ever seen have a. If anybody has a pencil or something, that they could actually draw stuff in their world with a pencil, with an
Looney Tunes.
They find pencil or anything they could draw and erase shit. Bugs Bunny fucking will fuck you up with a pencil.
That's why I always refer to my shroom trips as Looney Tune trips.
Animaniacs.
Animaniacs.
Yeah, Animaniacs too.
Okay, so damn, man. Damn, hurry up, man. That shit would be $29 a month instead of $52 a month.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at that now. Like, I'm trying to double check before I do it for no reason.
That's what I pay right now. It's like $30 a month because I got the discount, and like, honestly, that's not too bad.
No, Jamina, let me get your card.
And that's the.
If you can afford it, it's definitely.
I gotta check right here.
But yeah, like they give it to free. They give discounts and shit to students and shit.
Yeah, that's what I was just looking. When you get the student discount, it's a lot cheaper. It's actually $15 a month with the student discount, which is kind of dope. $15 a month for that.
Just do it.
Oh, yes.
Alright, I'm gonna check on here.
Yeah, give it to me. I'll see if I can figure it out.
That's dope, though. And you got to get this one, Creative. So the Creative Cloud, they give you access to all the apps, basically.
Yeah, like I only downloaded right now. I only got like Photoshop, Illustrator,
This what it's talking
and a
to.
couple other ones because they're big programs. They're like a couple gigabytes.
My headphones broke.
And I'm on a laptop, so I have limited storage.
That was the pink ones.
Oh, yeah.
They just broke.
I don't even know how much storage my laptop is. God.
Yeah, that's something you got to take into account when you're down. You don't want to download all the programs and then be fucking screwed on storage.
I need that.
Alright.
Oh, God.
I
I got 500 gigs, 503 gigs free.
I had to.
Yeah, that's a lot. I only have like 1 gig free.
I had to use my.
Oh, I must got here. That's a terabyte. It's like, damn, I already used half of this shit.
Adobe. It say we got an Adobe Creative Cloud. It say your student.
I made that account for stuff.
Yeah, I need to download Animate though. Like that, I still haven't fucked around with it, but I heard it's. I think Wanking Wizard was using Animate. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Damn, yeah, the anime.
And they got all kinds of shit. They got apps where you could build your own fucking phone app, build your own website.
I'm still geeking off this. Like, how could that be? I'm looking at it individually. And then it's like, if you just get the anime by itself, that's $2.
Yeah, because they want you to have the cloud, and then you're paying them money. You just have it.
Yeah. But
Which is smart.
You can get all the apps for only $15.
Oh shit!
And you get 100 gigs of cloud.
Yeah, dude, they just did that. They just started that literally back in, and now I have like all this cloud in my cloud.
Oh damn!
So you don't have to you don't have to take up memory on your own computer. And they have mobile apps. They have apps for your phone.
Yeah. No, I got Adobe on my phone though.
No.
Yes, I do, but I got Adobe Draw or something. Dang.
Yeah, I think that's the one that's on the iPad.
Yeah, the Procreate and Photo thing. Those are both potentially good.
Adobe Draw.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope, Andreas. Good looking out.
Yeah, bro, the anime, dude, I'm telling you, yeah, because they just updated, every year they updated their app, so I just got the brand new Photoshop 2020, and, yeah, all this shit. Animate, too, yeah, I'm about to install this shit, I think.
Yeah, I'm about to start watching videos on it, so I can learn how to use it, because, yeah.
Yeah, Photoshop is my main weapon of choice for, making...
Yeah, that's dope.
Dude, it's fucking sick. You get to learn how to use the software, too.
You know that show, fucking Big Bless show? It's a fucking animation show, fucking from Australia. It's funny as hell, man. But the Big Les show.
Oh yeah, the Big Les show. That show was cool.
Yeah, he did it all from his computer, from his laptop, from school, and then little by little, like, you know what I'm saying, getting better and better, like fucking with computers, making the fucking cartoon. Fucking, it's just crazy. It's just took off. Everybody in Australia knows that shit. You know what I'm saying?
And he said he mostly did it while he was on mushrooms too. He said I was just doing a lot of mushrooms, microdosing on the weekdays, big doses on the weekends. And he just was, he did it all on paint too. Like he did it some weird way where he said only he is comfortable with doing it, but he just found the way and kept on at it. Like he don't even use the updated animation software. But he has his own original style to how he does it, so it works. I just got off.
And go pass out and hopefully die or whatever.
You want to take easy on those. He left. I don't know. That was a weird message. That dude just fucking hopped in talking a bunch of downers. Hopefully I die or some shit. Like,
I missed that completely. My mic went off as soon as he jumped in.
He literally hopped in. It was like, yeah, I'm about to go pass out and I just ate a bunch of downers. And then he fucking disconnected. As I was like, hey, you might want to take it easy on them downers.
What was that fucking dumbass's name?
I don't know. He literally just hopped in.
His name was Canna X or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I want downers.
Yeah, let's just see if he comes back.
He sounded like he was on some drugs too.
He did.
Zanny.
It's on something.
Fuck all that. Why? What's his down? What is he on this down? He needs to tap back in so we can talk some sense into him.
It's too late now.
It's too late now. He's dying stuff.
Yeah. That's crazy, right? People always want to come to somewhere and do shit like, and do stupid shit, random fuckery, like, well, I'm gonna die, bye, and fucking went in the psychedelic community and do stupid just to get a response, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know what I mean? They usually get responses from people like Courtney and shit that got a big heart. They're like, What? Why? What's wrong? What's wrong with you? Talk to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like these fucking trolls just want a response. Like, no, fuck.
Yeah, like big troll.
Or he's really suicidal.
Yeah, or he really is, and it's stupid to just do it like that, like a little kid. Like, well, I'm gonna hopefully I die. Bye. Like, fuck out of here.
I was gonna say, fuck out of here.
Stop playing.
Nah, he was just dipping out, being a dick while he dipped out, you know.
Hopefully.
Yeah, because why would you, when people say stuff like that, they usually want remorse and they're gonna, or somebody to be emotional for them, and then they're gonna stick around. It's like, oh, I'm gonna die, bye.
Like it could have been definitely on some pills though, or some shit.
Sound like that nigga. Sound like that nigga was mad we was happy. Fuck you, happy motherfuckers. And shit.
Yeah. Hit this negative energy before I leave. See you later. Hold that.
Hell yeah, bro. Hey, look, I'm coming back outside. I don't see that spaceship no more. That shit no spaceship. Yeah, bro, I seen the spaceship. It's still
Stop getting spooked all the damn time, too.
Yeah. Like, at that time, though, I wasn't scared, though. When I was out here looking at the spaceship, because I had already surrendered. So I wasn't scared. I was just watching that shit. Like, what the fuck? Like, how did that?
It was close enough to scrutinize it?
Bro, that shit covered the whole sky. Like, the whole sky.
What?
The whole sky.
I mean, I'm gonna have to eat me a fucking making beef patty right now.
Yeah, I'm going. I ain't eating till tomorrow.
Yo, that's mad funny because I'm going
Hey,
to
Yolanda.
buy some bagels.
Yeah, but I'm about to tap out, man. I'm gonna tap in with y'all tomorrow, man.
All right, true, man. Go relax.
Hey, thanks,
man.
True, girl.
All right, man. Thank
Take it
y'all.
easy.
Thank y'all. Shit.
Yeah, big ups. Big ups on the vibes.
Man.
This is
Don't be creative, Kyle.
Yeah, Ozo, I was wondering, I was like, dang, hopefully Ozo's all good. I ain't seen you tap in a minute.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Nah, I've been just ducking off because my girl's going through shit, man. And it's like I don't want to keep the chain reaction, to keep the ball rolling about, True's dad's going through shit. My girl, somebody else was talking about somebody else died, somebody else died.
It really is a change.
It's a big cycle. I keep hearing, like, right now, it's a big-ass cycle of death and fucking sickness everywhere.
Yeah, but you want to know what people fail to realize? On the Discord, there's always somebody willing to talk all the time. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you always got this community and shit. So you know what I'm saying? Because I'm niggas like me. While I'm doing shit, I'm waiting for somebody to hop on Discord. I'm waiting for a true show to start more than anything else. Like, this shit is crazy.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, my man fucking told me he had to hop off this shit because it was too addicting. He was doing, Arch. I be talking to him all the time. He just don't come in here. I keep forgetting to tell truth.
Yeah, Arch is the homie. I don't think
Arch
it's like
is cool.
addictive. It's only addictive if like, I don't know. I don't really see how it could
Nah,
be.
he said it was not like addicted, but it was like he was wasting mad time all day long, fucking with the Discord, breaking night in the Discord, talking with the motherfuckers, and you know what I'm saying, and constantly on here, and it was too much. He was like,
you
yo,
gotta
fuck
keep your
that, I gotta
balance.
let this shit go for me.
I see what you say. Because
Yeah,
my
yeah,
nigga, like, I
he
just
said he's gonna come back. Yeah, he said he's gonna come back, but he just had to take a break because it was too much. He was going hard.
Yeah, for me, it's like I just hop on and if like they're doing like people are in here, I'll tap.
Yeah, but not only that though, but he's gonna come back with some profound trips, dog. He has some serious shit happen. So he's coming
That's
back with
what's
some
up.
serious trip reports.
Yeah, Arch is the boy.
Yeah, that's my dude, man.
this shit, the life I live, I could listen to Discord and just like, even if I'm not interacting, I could listen. So, you know what I'm saying? It's not like I should just take it away. So I know how it is for some people probably got to work and do, you know what I'm saying, do other shit. With my job, I drive, so I could just sit there and listen and, one day, whatever, have the shit on mute.
And then tap in whenever you want to talk. Whatever.
Yeah, whenever I got that one customer who seems like he don't give a fuck, then I can tap in.
Hey, I love talking because I literally don't talk to nobody else in depth as in any physical form about this kind of stuff.
Oh, what you doing, the Uber shit, man, and driving around listening to True Life Story?
Nah, I be doing that shit. So I do Lyft, like, that's on the weekends and shit. I do Lyft on the weekends and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? And then freaking, I used to be chilling on the regular, you know, and then
Yeah, my homie does Lyft. Apparently he makes good money.
Yeah, bro. Well, the way I do it, I pull off like $400 a day because I got a truck, so I do XL, and then I do the weekends and shit. So you know what I'm saying? I'm always getting consistent hits. Like I know one doing it was only getting like $300 a week. I'm like, how you getting $300 a week and I'm getting $400 a day? But it be the times that people choose to drive and shit, you know?
Yeah, distance and all that.
Yeah, man. Like everybody want to party Saturday night, so there's nobody left to drive. So then at the end of the day, they're gonna give a ride that you're supposed to get $10 for. You end up getting like $35 for that ride, you know?
Yeah.
And then because I got the fucking XL truck, I could hold more people, so the rides are literally double the standard, like the double, probably about 110% more than the average ride and shit. So put you off of that.
You know what I was gonna ask y'all earlier? I was laughing and shit. I was gonna ask True, but you know what I'm saying? Everybody's talking and shit. So, man, how many of y'all smoking ass motherfuckers ever been smoking in the bed and call Fred into the ashtray, dog?
Oh shit! Yeah.
Oh, damn.
But where the skill comes in is how you remove the app.
Oh yeah. You gotta do some upside down gravity shit.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? If you can't move it, you just pat the fuck out of it till that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's just funny, man.
Shit's crazy, man.
How about how many times have you not realized it and you just breathe through your nostrils all the weed out the air?
Yo, the good thing about the ash though is like if you don't touch it, it won't rub into like the bed. So you just gotta go.
Yep, you gotta be very delicate. Very delicate.
Blow it off
You can't rub that shit in.
You gotta flick the feet, you feel me? Like, fire.
Yo, but Ty, I remember you was talking about the Thai stick. The strain?
The strain, yeah.
Yeah, it's originally called Thai stick. I grew that shit already. I grew that shit in 2012. That shit was fucking... This is a heavy fucking yielder, yo.
That's what I got right now. Yeah, I got a half O of it. It was just like two buds.
This is sativa,
two
right?
giant buds. Yeah.
Yeah, son. That shit is a massive yielder, bro. Of one plant, I got half a pound.
Wow.
And that plant was in like a 7-gallon pot. Straight fucking nuts. And you don't even have to freaking manicure them shits like that. Like, them shits, all you gotta do is pick off the drop leaves and that's it. Done.
Yeah,
That shit.
the synchronicity was on point. I had to get it because the name.
Yeah, and then when you said it, I was like, oh shit, that was one of the fucking strains that, because that shit goes wild. Wild.
Now,
That's
not
what it
much
is.
maintenance
That's
for
what
it.
it is wild Thai. Thai stick is the other one, is the one from the 70s where they used to freaking, they used to sell in the 70s in the East Coast, in like New York and shit. They used to have a strain running around Thailand called Thai stick, and they used to put a stick.
Oh, wow.
That's what that, yeah.
Yeah, somebody else had hit me up saying they didn't see that strain since like the early 2000s. Like, where did I find it at?
Yeah, man. I got that shit. I ordered that one.
The Thai stick back in the 70s and shit, like it used to just be weed that came on a stick.
Yeah.
You pulled the stick out.
But they said, my homeboy who was telling me about it, he was saying they used to come from Thailand. I'm not sure about it. I'm just saying.
Yeah, the original genetic for sure probably did. I wonder, I don't know. I've never, like, seen it.
Yeah, that shit is crazy, but, like, freaking, it was like that shit used to run the 70s on the East Coast and whatnot.
Yeah, I'm looking on the Leafy right now. It's saying everything you said.
Yeah, man. That shit's crazy. That's why when you brought that shit up, I was like, oh shit,
It
that
gave
fucking
rise.
ties.
I'm sorry. It gave rise to juicy fruit and haze. I know I smoked a lot of haze.
Well, yeah, you know what? I can't see the haze in that shit because it's not a full. It doesn't go full in like yeah, it goes full, but it's like it's an airy butt. No matter what you do, the shit is.
Yeah, I feel like that's a typical haze trait. Like it's airy sativa.
Yeah. So that's how the Thai came out. It came out airy, but it's still. Even if you like fucking put enhancers on that shit, it's still gonna come out airy. But that shit still came out as full as it could get.
Yeah, it'd be dope to grow some old school strains. Like my dad one time was talking about some Panama Red.
I heard about that. I heard things about that.
My dad said the weed was literally red, and I also heard.
You want to know where that's from, right?
What up?
So basically, like for example, my boy, he grew, he bought some seeds to Jamaica, wedding cake. He bought some wedding cake seeds to Jamaica and grew it in wedding cake in Jamaica. The soil in the country, because there's a lot of box or whatever, so a lot of the dirt in a lot of places be fucking red as shit. So when the fucking when the buds is finished, it doesn't look nothing like outdoor greenhouse or like it doesn't look nothing like bud here. It has all the colors from the backside and shit. You know what I'm saying? So I guess that's from the natural elements around. That's what turned it red. So he's saying so for example, the wedding cake, it looked like orange reddish, and it's pure wedding cake from America.
I had wedding cake dab before in like the dab form.
Yeah, I smoked shitloads of fucking wedding.
I'm looking at the Thai stick, like what you was bringing up. That shit crazy how they make it. It's like moon rocks kinda. They got the keef, the oil, and then they roll it up with the weed, and it's a stick in between it. And then they wrap it up in like a real regular cannabis leaf, like the one that stick out that you don't really smoke, and then wrap it in a stick, dry it up, and then smoke it.
Oh shit.
I put a link to what I'm looking at.
You know what I was thinking about? Cause like in Jamaica they sell bud. Like let's say if you go to a party or whatnot, you're gonna see like the niggas selling weed actually on the stick. They'll give you like $10 or $20, like whatever amount you want on the actual stick. That's what I had in my mind and shit.
Mm-hmm. No, it's out there.
Crazy.
I want to figure out how to make the THCA crystals.
Oh shit!
I want to know if
fucking crystallines, right?
Yeah, I was thinking like, what if you do the thing that you do with to make DMT, but you put but you do it with cannabis? Like, what would happen?
Shit, probably try it.
I would test it, send it to a chemist.
Well, apparently, like when my homie presses rosin, the THCA like will crystallize and it'll turn white. But the way that they're getting this like CBD isolated shit in the THC crystal, I think they're like distilling it like with like maybe BHO extraction methods or some shit.
I don't know, man. What I've seen so far on freaking Leafly is that shit. Because somebody told me about it. I never heard about it until somebody told me about it. They called it crystalline. They said they smoked it. And they paid like $150 or $200 a gram, some high ass gram, right? And they said they just put a little bit on the fucking on the J, and they passed it around with 4 people, and they had 4 people fucked up. It the mad long to finish it. So ever since that day, I was trying to find the shit out here, and I could never find it.
Yeah, somebody I knew had some. He had a little bit, and when I smoked it, it was like I was on a little bit of mushroom, like a little microdose for a while. My mind was clear and everything.
Niggas be getting these shits. Oh.
I gotta figure out how to make it.
On Weed Maps, Leafly, none of that. Oh.
I'm looking it up now. It was somebody that was able to hold one like in the size of their hand, and it was like, this cost like $50,000.
God damn.
Yeah, that Thai stick is crazy because it literally it's like wrapped on a stick. Like how the fuck did they do?
How?
That's dope. I ain't even get to take the picture out yet.
Yeah, they said as a result, being a substance close to 100% THC. I'm gonna do something. THC content, there isn't exactly much room else for within these glistening little gems of concentrated dankness. As a result, the terpenes are out of the finished product, so it's the tasteless concentrate. So they usually mix it in like a sauce, they saying. I wonder how you make it. They not saying. They just saying they isolate the THC.
See, this was something good to ask Chris about, yo.
Oh, here it is. They say it raises a lot of questions on how they produce. They asked it in the article. For a while, the process was highly guarded trade secret, but as time passes, just tell us. More commonly, diamonds are isolated from live resin extracts. Yeah, I think you was mentioning that.
Yeah, they do like the butane extract, and somehow they crystallize the diamonds, and those are like the straight THC or something.
Yeah, they not mentioning much past that.
Yeah, my homie actually, one of my good friends, he works at an extraction lab. His job, he's a main grower, and like that, he grows for a facility where they just make hash like that.
Oh, here it is. Yeah, say following the same extraction with live resin, the solution is then purged with heat with no vacuum involved to remove any residual solvent. The live resin is placed in a container and simply left somewhere dark so the separation can take place. As the terpenes create a liquefied layer on top. Cannabinoid crystals will begin to form on bottom. That's like DMT. Hence why this process is called separation.
Except there's no fucking naphtha.
Yeah. That's dope. And it take about 60 to 74 hours for it to like turn into the crystals. That seemed like a future endeavor.
Yeah, that extraction equipment's crazy though. It's like $100,000 type closed loop extraction shit.
Yeah, that's dope. Alright, I think I'm about to look more into getting this Adobe thing and take it down.
Don't rush into it if you don't want it, like right now or whatever, like whenever you're ready. Because like once you're paying it, it's like you're paying every month, and like for me, like the way I look at it is like I'm trying to make at least one or two, like hopefully like 4 pieces of art a month. So like I'm at least cranking out each month that I'm paying. At least I'm like working on projects, that I'm like completing. So that's like my goal is to just like use it to where I'm not wasting my money and just spending money on the software where it's just sitting there.
No, bro, this the next step. Like I said, I downloaded the Toon Bloom because I got inspired because I already be drawing and stuff all the time, painting. But I was like, I think animation will be a little more like a little better outlet for right now. Like as well as still painting. So I said this is like the next step. And I already edit videos all day. This like I got all the free time right now. I got all the free time to create. So I'm trying to take advantage of any inspiration that come on. Cause I'll be letting stuff go by and then I'll be looking back like a couple months later. I say, man, if I would just started back then, I did that so many times, so I ain't letting it happen.
I feel that. Yeah, I got mad shit on my plate right now. Like I'm trying to get into architecture, and I'm trying to do the digital art, and I'm trying to do more canvas art, and yeah, the animation shit would be tight. Music production, yeah, there's all kinds of shit that I want to do.
Yeah, the music too. I had to. But I think the animation will be cool.
The new software that I want, there's a couple new programs. One of them's called ZBrush. It's like $800, and then another one is called Rhino 3D, and it's like an architecture type software where you can design 3D models of buildings, and that's like another like $800 program.
I just typed it in.
Yeah, these are all the softwares that I'm trying to get. I got some college money that I could spend, but I don't know. Probably want to chill and just like save up money and buy it myself or some shit.
Nah, I'm grassroots right now.
Yep.
But it's all good. Nah, I hope you get it. I hope you get it.
No, I will. It's on my like list of shit to get.
Cause my cousin was supposed to be, well, not supposed to be. He wanted to be an architect when he was younger and stuff like that. He used to always be sketching and went to school, but then
I want to be an architect, dude. Yeah, because I looked it up and like it was talking about how like to be a certified architect, you got to go to school for 5 years and get your like bachelor's or whatever. And I'm like, fuck that. I just want to get the software and start designing the buildings myself. And because like I don't know, like fuck college. Like I'm not trying to do.
If you can work your knowledge base up.
Yeah, I mean, like eventually, like if it's like something I gotta do, but like I feel like it's an illusion. Like I feel like they want you to think that you gotta go to college to be successful in that field. But I feel like if you dedicate yourself to it and figure it out, then you can bypass all that bullshit of debt in college and fucking studying for fucking a degree that you might not need.
And they try to say about the community and stuff, but we're in a community right now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the future is like people like us, grassroots style, fucking developing this shit on our own and like learning all this shit on our own.
No, yeah, that's what I'm on right now. And it just take the patience. That's why I like the psychedelics too. They allow you to get the patience and like have that professor mind state to not ignore details for like and not for because it's real because it's interesting. Like the curiosity factor get turned up. But yeah, I'm gonna sign out right now, bro.
Yeah, I'm about to fucking tap out too. I'm about to go to bed. It's like 1:20.
Alright.
About to finish watching Star Wars.
the Mandalorian.
Much love, Just Ty. And so, Blaxican.
Alright,
all you
out here getting bagels and shit.
Drive safe.
Yeah, drive safe.
Later, homies.
Peace out.
Thanks, Blaxican, for coming on. Well, I jumped in on y'all, but for being on the show.
Nah, bro, I tried to get in early. Somebody. I don't know, whatever.
And thanks, Esco.
I'm glad you put that on.
Yeah, I'm glad it's on here. We gotta record these talks. It's a whole.
No job.